What's up everybody, welcome back to Miguel Climbs. As the title of the video suggests, I'm going to share my experience with an A2 pulley injury in my middle finger. As this was my first finger injury ever in my 6 years of climbing, I didn't really know what to expect or how to fix it. When climbers would come up to me in the gym and tell me that they were experiencing finger injuries and finger pain, I would just be like, bro, that sucks. And I couldn't really sympathize with them. But now that I've been through it, I want to share my experience, show you what I did to fix it in particular. But everybody's different. This isn't a video that's going to fix your problem, but I just want to show you what I did. And the very first thing that I did was go to a PT. From what I understand, getting it properly diagnosed is the most important part of a finger injury. If you're trying to self-diagnose, you may end up down the wrong path. So the best in Vegas is Devin Mead. He's a very strong climber here in town and has a lot of experience healing a lot of our best climbers. So why don't we hear from him real quick, and then I'll show you what I did to cure me. Okay, check it. All right, everybody, this is Devin Mead, Benchmark PT, the savior of my climbing. So, dude, can you just tell us what somebody should do if they do encounter an issue like this?
Yeah, I'd say the first and most important thing, whenever you have any finger pain or any difficulty with crimping or climbing in general, the first thing that you should do is get a proper diagnosis. So understanding the extent of your injury and understanding where you should start, because that will determine how aggressive you can be with your rehab. And then also it can dictate when you can return to climbing. The worst thing you could do is not address it, ignore the pain, and just climb through it, because oftentimes those injuries can turn into a much longer recovery. So the most important tool for me, along with my physical examination of the finger and seeing what symptoms people are having, is I utilize the diagnostic ultrasound machine. So I can actually visualize the pulley, I can visualize the finger tendons gliding through along the finger bone to see if there's any separation, and we can determine the severity of the injury. And then that really helps me to dose the appropriate rehab exercises. So one of the most effective rehab tools is actually utilizing the hangboard. So it's a very specific implement for finger strength. You'll see a lot of strong climbers participating in hangboarding on a regular basis. But from a rehab standpoint, you can really dose and grade the weight that you're applying through your finger and build that as you're getting stronger.
So as Devin referred to, hangboarding was definitely the answer for me. If you've never had an A2 pulley injury, it almost feels like a bruise in this part of your finger. And climbing on any sort of jugs hurts. You can't pull hard at all. It's very demoralizing. And when you start off your first 2 or 3 weeks hangboarding, you can't even hang body weight. It's that painful. So I started out by just hanging with my feet on a box and gradually loading it more and more and more. By about the 4th week, I was finally able to hang with body weight, and my protocol was to do sort of 10 seconds on, 90 seconds to 2 minutes off, and I would do 5 sets of that. And I would always do kind of a 3-finger drag as well, because that didn't hurt my pulley at all. And now, kind of 6-7 weeks later, I'm at the point where I'm hanging with 45 pounds, and it's feeling better and better. So I don't want to jinx it by saying I'm totally cured, but hangboarding has definitely helped make my A2 pulley feel better. And today we have my friend Ricky behind me, who's also going through a similar situation. So before we close out the video, let's hear his experience, and hopefully this video helps you if you're going through the same thing. It does get better. So Ricky, how are you, buddy?
Pretty good.
And what was your protocol on the hangboard?
I went more by like a feel basis.
Okay.
So I basically would test myself after a couple days off after the original injury, and then I would figure out what aggravates it the most with my feet on like a large flat edge.
Yeah.
And then I found that it was half crimp, like most people like, or a full crimp, which irritates it the most.
Right.
And then from there, that's what I need to work on. And then I try to find something that feels like really comfortable, like big open handholds. It might be like jugs at first.
Sick.
And then I like to kind of as I progress like my half crimp, I like to throw in things that feel good for my finger as well, almost like feel like it's stretching it. Yeah, it's been pretty simple. I mean, right now I'm getting better. I'm down to like a 15 mil, like on a half crimp without feeling it. Slowly progressing it down to a smaller edge, as well as I'll add more weight on like a larger edge as well.
Okay.
So I like to do it by feel.
Were you climbing while you were doing this protocol too? Like just easier climbs?
Yes, so a lot of times I feel like I can climb a little bit harder doing open hand holds, maybe some bigger moves on some jugs or some slopers, or I'll do a lot of like static climbing, just because when I dynamically like load my finger, like a campus board or moon board, or that's when I feel it the most.
Got it.
So I feel like figure out what's comfortable, what's uncomfortable, and then try to like get a good mix of both. Of like at the end of the day, I like want to walk out of here feeling like, okay, I worked it out like a muscle. But not like ouch, like an acute pain.
No, yeah, I mean, that's obviously the most important thing. I think you do have to listen to your body the whole time you're rehabbing. For me, there was days where I would hang, I would feel really good, and then 2 days later, I would come in not feeling as good, and it was kind of just a roller coaster. But as you do it more and more, I think it really rebuilds that tendon, or that pulley. And I was also climbing, in my case, I was told not to stop climbing, and I think a lot of people kind of agree with that statement these days, to keep kind of climbing through it. But listen to your body, obviously. But no, dude, I'm stoked that we're almost back to full recovery.
Almost, yeah.
And we'll be sending those V10s shortly, dude.
Fingers crossed to feel healthy on all grip positions.
Yeah.
And yeah, as long as it feels good.
Right.
As long as it feels good, that's like, I think the most positive thing.
Yeah, but
for me.
If you have any sort of doubt or questions, obviously don't scour the internet. Go to somebody that knows. So usually a PT or whatever, and somebody that climbs, hopefully.
Yeah.
And hopefully this video helped you out. I'm really stoked to get back on the wall, dude.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And yeah, gotta climb with everyone again, as hard as I'd like. And I think that's gonna be really fun to get back into it.
Sick, dude. Well, thanks for your input on this video, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Peace, everybody.